On Friday evening, two passenger trains collided near Bedford, England, killing a train driver and sending 89 people to hospital. This wasn't a minor incident. This was one of the most serious rail crashes the UK has seen in years. Here is everything we know, and everything investigators are still trying to find out. The two trains involved both belonged to East Midlands Railway, and were both heading to London St Pancras. The first was the 1550 service from Nottingham. The second was the 1640 service from Corby. At approximately 17:15 on Friday, the two trains collided on the same stretch of track south of Bedford town centre. The other was a Class 810. From images at the scene, eyewitness accounts, and train tracking, it appears the Corby train collided into the back of the Nottingham service, but investigators have not officially confirmed this yet. Here is how Friday evening unfolded, minute by minute. At 15:50, the Nottingham train departs for London. At 16:40, the Corby train departs, also bound for St Pancras. At 17:15, the collision is first reported. At 17:36, Thameslink announces all lines are blocked between Luton and Bedford, due to, quote, a problem under investigation. At around 19:40, the RMT union reports that train staff and passengers have suffered serious injuries. At 20:57, British Transport Police officially declares a major incident and confirms that one person has died. At around 2200, the East of England ambulance service confirms the full injury count. 89 people hurt in total. At 23:30, RMT confirms the person who died was a train driver. And on Saturday morning, the Aslef union, which represents train drivers, confirms to the BBC that the driver who lost their life was on the Corby service. The train driver who died was operating the 1640 Corby to London St Pancras service. Aslef's General Secretary confirmed this on Saturday morning. No further personal details have been released at this time, out of respect for the driver's family. Network Rail's route director Mark Budden said the organization is deeply saddened that one of its colleagues lost their life, and that its thoughts are with their family, friends, and colleagues. Passengers on both trains described the moment of impact. One passenger said they heard a loud boom, followed immediately by what they described as shrieks and groans of pain from those around them. Another passenger described the force of it as an almighty impact. Of the 89 people injured, 11 were classed as very seriously injured, 22 as seriously injured, and 56 suffered minor injuries. Emergency services responded in force, and as of Saturday morning, recovery and assessment work at the scene was still ongoing. Here is where things stand right now. What we know. The trains involved were the Corby and Nottingham services, both EMR, both bound for St Pancras. The driver of the Corby train died as a result of the collision. 89 people were injured, 11 of them very seriously. British Transport Police declared a major incident. Network Rail has closed a portion of the East Midlands route while assessment continues. What we don't know. The official cause of the crash. That is the subject of a full investigation. Which train struck the other? Eyewitness evidence points to the Corby train hitting the back of the Nottingham service, but this is unconfirmed. The current conditions of the most seriously injured passengers. The condition of the driver of the Nottingham service. King Charles III issued a statement through a spokesperson on Saturday, saying he is, quote, greatly saddened by the rail crash in Bedford, and is being kept regularly updated on developments. The King extended his thoughts and sympathies to the family of the deceased driver and all those injured or affected. The Transport Secretary has called for a thorough investigation into how the collision happened, signaling that accountability and answers will be expected. Network Rail's Mark Budden confirmed that their teams are working closely with industry partners, response teams, and the emergency services, and that passengers will be updated as soon as a clearer picture of when the line can safely reopen emerges. Specialist investigation teams are still at the scene as of Saturday morning. The Rail Accident Investigation Branch, the independent body responsible for examining rail incidents in the UK, is expected to lead the formal inquiry into what caused two trains to end up on the same stretch of track at the same time. Questions will be asked about signaling, communication, and whether any safety systems failed. For now, the East Midlands route south of Bedford remains closed. Passengers are being advised to check for updates before traveling. And for the family of the driver who lost his life on Friday, this investigation cannot come soon enough. That is everything we know about the Bedford train crash so far. As this story develops, we will keep you updated. If you found this video informative, subscribe so you don't miss our next update.